driving a 60-year-old antique SUV, embarking on a new chapter of life. French cuisine doesn't always have to be fine dining. With careful preparation, simple flavors can also be unforgettable. Featuring a unique gold gem, creating a noble, elegant, and unique pair of high heels.
For those who love antique cars, naturally, you want to keep the cars in its best conditions possible. But on the other hand, if you're going to spend good money on a car, you're going to want to drive it every day to feel that pure mechanical driving experience. So it's a little bit of a dilemma, isn't it? Do you keep it at home or do you take it out every day? Well, not necessarily, because some cars, they offer the best of both worlds. Morgan has been living in Hong Kong for 17 years. He pilots planes for work, he sails boats for fun, and he drives around town in this 4x4 with over 60 years of history. He is truly a wanderer of the air, sea, and land. Hi, Morgan.
Nice to meet you, Darren.
Now, I know you're a man of many talents. You can operate planes, you sail boats, and obviously you can drive cars. Now, for those of us who don't know, are those three skills sort of comparable? What are the main differences, really?
I guess I'm operating different machines of all different years. Some people operate flying in an academic way. I think it can be flown in an artistic sort of form. Driving old cars, yeah, requires a little bit of tender loving care and understanding of the mechanics. That's probably the same with old airplanes as well. And to be honest, the same with every machine. Yeah. Just treat it with respect. Try and understand it and work with it, don't work against it. So the thing with boats and airplanes as well is when you're in the open ocean, there's nobody that can help you at all. There's no rescue service really when you're offshore. So you have to be able to fix any problems on the boat yourself. So you do need some basic understanding of the mechanics in order to fix it. You need a basic toolkit and an understanding of the systems.
So how did you find this? Was it a happy coincidence or were you looking for it online specifically or something?
I think it was a coincidence. I wasn't actively looking for a Series 1, but it's the holy grail for all Land Rover enthusiasts. So I think every boy wants to have a vehicle like this. Yeah. And I happened to be having my fish and chips in New Zealand next to the seaside, similar to here, and one drove past. And I took interest, and then when I was finishing my meal, it drove past again. And so I took chase in my slightly newer Land Rover, which wasn't too difficult. Caught up with the owner, who was a shipbuilder. And I said to him, wow, I love this vehicle. It's absolutely beautiful. I've always wanted one of these or thinking about having one of these. And he said to me, well, you know, everything's got a price. Everything's for sale.
He was open for business.
He was.
Lucky for you.
So right then and there, I was quite taken aback. I had a look around it, put my head underneath it. He's a pretty honest guy. I'm British, so we sort of sealed the deal with a handshake. That's it.
Now, with this car, is this something you drive every day? I know it's built to be rugged and robust, but it is like a 66-year-old car.
It is, but the advantage of that is that it's very simple, and it is a utility vehicle. So it was designed to be useful, and it's been useful its whole life in a number of ways. So I still use it every day. Yeah, I use it whether it's moving house, moving children. If I'm going to a party and I have to put lots of things in the back, like children's parties, it's just absolutely perfect.
Speaking of simple, I noticed the interior, you've kept a lot of it, looked original to me. How much of this is stock?
Sure, when I got this vehicle, it actually had the canvas top on it, so it was a soft top. And I think that's the way it spent a lot of its life. I've put the hard top on it, which again was an extra. You can imagine these vehicles were used by the services and by farmers. So there was lots of different options you could actually have for this vehicle. One of the options was actually the, I guess, the exploring option, you know, going across the world. So that's what I've kind of started to build her up. So everything's original, but I'm starting to make her more expedition, sort of kitted out for expeditions. So one of the things here is the capstan winch, which is like a boat winch, actually. Right. So there's a power takeoff on the front of the vehicle and on the back of the vehicle. So you can run tools like saws on the back of the vehicle. This winch can help you, you know, through your bogs and over slippery terrain. We've got the jerry can holder here as well,
yeah, but this one,
which probably would be dangerous today to put fuel in it, but I can put water in it.
Yep.
These are the day running lights. I've changed these ones to also act as indicators as well, just for safety. With the jerry can on, these are the original Lucas lights that would have been to replace these which were covered. So I've looked at all the old pictures and I've tried to position them exactly where they would have been and for originality as well. Inside, I've got a 1950s fan. This is actually a tropical roof. So you've got airflow inside, so the roof never gets that hot at all. You've got a nice airflow, and we've got the fan as well to help. That's about it, really. Everything apart from that is stock. When I got this vehicle, it actually had no indicators at all, not even trafficators, which were an option. So I put seatbelts in it, and I put the trafficators, which are still legal in the Hong Kong ordinance.
All right, fantastic. So now that I've seen everything, it's time to go for a drive.
Let's go for it.
Yeah? Even though I'm not the one doing it, but driving a 4x4 from the 1950s is generally considered a unique experience, different from modern vehicles. This model has a basic and utilitarian design that emphasizes functionality over comfort or luxury. But that's not to say it's not fun or enjoyable. So you've got this wonderful car. It seems a bit of a waste to me personally if you only just drive around town. I mean, have you got any trips planned or have you been on any road trip with this?
Yeah, I mean, Hong Kong is obviously a very small little pond for this vehicle. This vehicle is designed to go, crossing continents.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we'd like to do. Every year, I try and do something to help Africa. So I've climbed Mount Kilimanjaro just before COVID.
Yeah.
I've done the Safaricom Marathon in Kenya, which is 5,000 feet, and it's in the top 5 most difficult marathons. And I've done 4-wheel drive events raising money as well for Conservation of Zambezi in Zambia. So for my 50th, I wanted to do something really special.
Yeah.
And I think trying to recreate those 1950s overland expeditions would just be magical. It'd be absolutely amazing. But also, not only fun for myself, but to do a lot of good as well.
Are you going to be sleeping in the car? How is that going to work? Do you have to modify the car in some way?
I think it's going to be a mixture of staying with friends of the expedition who are going to support us, camping as well in tents, and yeah, I mean, probably staying close to the vehicle just because it's probably the world is not as safe as it was in the 1950s in some ways.
Yeah, yeah. And, to a lot of people, they might be asking, why are you doing this in this vehicle? It's modern day, you can have air conditioning, you can have this and that. Why this? Is there some sort of inspiration behind that, or?
I think these vehicles are so iconic that they said that 3/4 of the world's population, this was the first vehicle that they saw. So these were the vehicles that were going across the deserts, across the jungles. So this is the vehicle that is designed to do that trip. Even though she's old, she's still perfectly capable of doing it.
You're very confident.
Well, it's more of a challenge. And also in some ways, we can, as you might see later, we can start this vehicle by hand. If you're in the most modern vehicle and your battery overheats, if you don't have a spare battery, that's it.
Yeah.
You can't start the vehicle. So this one, you can put the handle in and you can start it. You don't need a battery.
Yeah.
So in some ways, Africa is in many ways not modern like Hong Kong. It almost suits to have a vehicle like this in a less modern environment because it means roadside people can fix it, using the equipment that they have. They don't have computers that they can plug in. Just using those skills that are probably lost in a lot of more modern societies.
Yeah. So what is the time frame you're thinking of from London to Cape Town?
Yeah, we want to have fun as well. We don't want to be rushing past all the fun sites, but we want to be covering the miles. So I think we're looking at between 6 to 8 weeks where we can enjoy it. We're not going to be fatigued, and we can, see the sights along the way.
And sort of how much driving is involved per day, sort of, according to your calculation?
I think probably around 200 miles per day, 200 to 300 miles per day.
And what better than on your 50th?
Yeah, it's good to give back, as much as possible. We're also preoccupied with earning money, especially in Hong Kong. It's really nice to be able to give some of it back or give some time to other people. Yeah. And, conservation in Africa is, it seems far away, but it's actually so important for our kids, for the future of the planet. But sometimes you can get so stuck in your little bubble, you don't realize that there's a war going on right now.
Yeah.
And we've really got to do as much as we can to help.
I'm a little hungry. Let's find a random place and grab a bite.
We can't be too random. I know there's a restaurant nearby which is quite casual but very chill at the same time. Shall we go try it? Let's go. The restaurant specializes in simple French cuisine and has a bar where customers can just chill and enjoy their food. Chef Kenji, who has decades of culinary experience in hotels, uses his expertise to cook French cuisine. He hopes to help busy Hong Kong people slow down, take a pause, and experience the refined taste of French cuisine.
我煮得法國菜，因為法國菜俾人感覺比較華麗啦，同埋法國菜一係俾人感覺咧比較貴。我哋咧就主打咧係價廉物美，希望大家咧以一個平啲嘅價錢咧可以享受到呢個法國菜。
The two starters are pâté en croûte and beetroot salmon. The meat pie is made with pastry wrapped around pork, duck, chicken, and foie gras, baked with nuts such as pistachios to enhance the flavor. The salmon cured with beetroot, paired with lemon cream, is very appetizing, and the different flavors really complement each other. This dish is super refreshing. Cured salmon has that tiny hint of beetroot flavor, which makes it very unique. And I love how it's paired with that lemon cream. All the flavors really balance each other out.
I also noticed that my dish, besides the savoriness, it has like a very zesty accompaniment. There's orange and there's red wine infused apple, which is really nice because with the meat, and also with the meat, there's actually pistachios mixed in together, which is like really nice. There's savory, there's zesty, perfect balance.
This Wellington beef tenderloin is simply irresistible. The beef tenderloin is wrapped in puff pastry and baked, making it tender and juicy on the inside, yet crispy on the outside. Along with the rich flavor of the mixed mushrooms and truffle sauce, it's perfect. Chef uses New Zealand lamb racks, which are fresh and tender. The lamb shoulder potato pie is extremely creamy and flavorful. Along with the celery puree, not only does it reduce the gamey flavor of the lamb, but it also adds a delicate fragrance. My beef Wellington smells amazing. What are you having?
Well, I'm having some New Zealand lamb racks and some potato terrine that has some lamb shoulder meat in it and a celeriac puree. Let's give it a try.
This looks really like gourmet.
I usually try the sauce of any dish first just to like check out the taste, and just the celeriac tastes pretty good so far. How about you?
I bit into the whole thing.
The whole beef welly?
I really like the crispiness of the puff pastry. It's got a layer of like mushrooms in between, so it adds to that flavor. And the beef tenderloin is pink, can you see it? So it's like just right. So the whole thing is like quite rich altogether. They also have this like truffle sauce.
Oh, you have to dip it in the
Delicious.
sauce. Did you get some sauce on there? Let me try the little terrine now, because I just had a bit of the wrap. It was very tender. I like it just like that, medium rare. That's pink as well. Oh, wow. That is really, really... Wow. It's
Now
really...
I have to have some.
You want to bite?
No, kidding.
Like, I think like the whole they mix a bit of fat and the meat together with the potato squished right there. I also taste like a bit of the creaminess from like the butter and the milk that's layered here. It tastes really good.
It kind of looks like a lasagna.
Yeah, but I like this type of layered stuff because it's you know it takes a lot of work to make it, and it makes every bite that much more like chef's kiss.
Superstar Marilyn Monroe once said, "Give a girl the right shoes and she can conquer the world." In every woman's shoe collection, a pair of high heels is a must. Exquisitely designed high heels not only helps your leg look more beautiful and slender, it can also help transform your entire look. High heels were exclusively used by men once upon a time, but now they have become a symbol of femininity and even a collectible item. This brand is famous for its 24K gold leaf design element. The founder combines this precious material with watchmaking techniques and incorporates it into the design, making each pair of shoes a unique piece of art that is favored by many socialites. Hi Bertrand.
Hi Joyce.
Can you introduce us your brand?
So we are a multidisciplinary art and luxury house here founded in Hong Kong. And we are known and well recognized by our use of gold leaf. We have a lot of customization options as well as innovative use of different materials and collaborations with artisans and artists from all over the world.
So I understand that the gem is your signature, right? Could you tell us the design concept behind it?
It's really the jewel in the crown. And for us, it sits atop and it crowns many different canvases, such as handbags, such as shoes, and it could be used as a belt buckle, it could be used as a brooch, it could even be used as a pendant. So Joyce, let me show you some of our gems. Here we have an edited collection, and let's start with the bottom row. We have something called the lantern. So you see the shape is reminiscent of a lantern. And atop the surface, there are 5 lantern-shaped mother of pearl.
Yeah, I can see that right there. And it's kind of like in different shades of color.
Yes, because it's completely natural from the South China Sea. And here we have citrine.
Citrine.
Yes, so it's a semi-precious stone. And also you see the gradation in color, the mix of yellow and white gold leaf. And then we have Joyce, which is in lacquer. So it's a collaboration between myself, the brand, and with Joyce. So they were founded in 1661 in Kyoto. So 360 years of history. And again, so in terms of preciousness, we're using jadeite. So we have jade, we have clear jade, green jade, as well as 24 karat gold leaf. Here we have ink. So what you see is sort of this inhabited kind of brushstroke and brushwork on top of a mirror finish gold leaf surface.
It kind of reminds me of more like contemporary art.
Yes, absolutely. So this is sort of inspired by contemporary ink. Finally, here we have another collection, which is called Shadow.
Shadow.
And again, this is finished in the mirror gold. So the surface area is much larger, so you can't see, really it's like a mirror.
Yeah, you can really see your reflection
And
this time.
I think it's worth talking a little bit about how we achieve this effect. Is imagine gold leaf, which is thinner than paper. And what we do is we hand burnish the gold leaf until we reach a high gloss finish. So every single piece is completely polished by hand until we reach this effect.
So I understand this beautiful necklace here is also from the latest collection.
So these two particular pieces were worn by Amelia and Eliza Spencer. So they are the nieces of the late Princess Diana. And they were here in Hong Kong about a month ago to officiate the launch of this collection.
Wow.
So as you can see, this is in yellow gold, 18 karat yellow gold, and fabricated in Geneva.
I see the design is just a lot of squares layered on top of each other. Is there a story behind that?
Yes, so the signature of studio equipment is the mosaic. I wanted to incorporate as much of that motif and that signature and that iconic kind of emblem of the house into our designs. So here, this is, you can see, is made of many different layers of tiles or squares in order to achieve this three-dimensional effect.
And a wearable art piece.
Yes, so I can take this off and it could be transformed as a pendant or as many other kind of objects of art that one could wear.
The combination of black and white checkerboard with the gem presents the collision of retro art and luxurious fashion, embodying the dual qualities of Western elegance and Eastern delicacy. By incorporating this design into your outfit, the clean checkerboard pattern adds novelty and personal charm.